I'm like any mother. I do my best thinking in the car. That's just the way it is. Once you go in the house, it's just chaos. But I'm not going to hold you long. I just want to talk about advocacy. I'm about to post a screenshot of an email I sent for an upcoming meeting that I have for my daughter. A lot of people ask me, how do you advocate? How do you advocate? I mean, that's why, I offer services to help people find their voice in this advocacy space, especially when it comes to advocating for your children. I think a lot of people are scared to request things. And at the end of the day, the worst thing that they can say is no, but they have to provide a reason for the no, and I feel like we need to empower ourselves to speak up. So I'm going to give you a screenshot of what I just sent to, and you'll see that there's like 14 people on this email. I have district resources on the email because I've escalated a few things up to the district so that they are aware of the things that I need for my daughter. From the principal to our private team is included on this email, so we're all on the same page. And so if you read that email, go back, pause, you can read it. We have a monthly meeting schedule, which I have to accredit the district for that because there wasn't enough communication for me. I need communication because once your child is behind on certain concepts, it's harder to catch up. So if we're communicating along the way, then we can hopefully stay on track of things. Now, granted, Amina received her report card. She had N's in comprehension. She had an N in written communication, right? These are things I know my child is going to struggle with. However, while I know that, we still have to provide documentation so I can see what accommodations or interventions happened to help her along this process. Meaning, yes, she couldn't answer or she couldn't write, let's just say, summarize the story. How did we break that concept down for her? This is what I'm asking for in the accommodations log. This is what you can ask for. What accommodation was given? Did we switch out words? Did we use an alternate synonym for a word for summarize? Did we highlight? Did we underline? Did we break the paragraphs apart to help her understand the concepts better? If we did those things, which one of those interventions worked? Like, which one of those accommodations worked? If there was an intervention that had to happen, let's say she became frustrated. Okay, did you give her a break? That's also an accommodation. So there are things that you can ask for, and that should be documented. You cannot, and this is for any child, not just for a child that has an IEP or has additional needs. Providing a grade without the documentation and the data on why you provided the grade is not good practice, right? And I'm not accusing the school of doing that at all. I just want to see the documentation. I want to see the data. And you should always request the data. The data is important. The data helps determine the multi-tiered system of support, which is MTSS. Where do they fall in that? It's important to know where your child falls on that because the schools in the district receive additional money based on where your child falls within that support system. So when they tell you that they don't have the money for a one-on-one pair, or when they tell you that, based off of my one child, I know that you will receive additional funding. Now, how much funding that is and all of those details, that's not what I'm here for. But I am going to add a screenshot of what it looks like in our county, which is Hillsborough County. You can pull up the MTSS for your district or your school as well. And just, it's the same. Like there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 is for like all students. Tier 2 is like some students who require some level of support. And tier 3 is, extensive or intensive support. Anyway. These are things that you need to know to equip and arm yourself to advocate effectively for your child. Don't be scared to use your voice. But if you're struggling to find it, hit me up. Buy one of my resources. I got you. One other thing. I know I get long when I talk about this, but I can't talk about advocacy enough. Feel free, and you should, have your private team and your school team be collaborative. In that email, if you go back, my private SOP is going to come and work with the school and her teachers on how to use the AAC device because Amina is more receptive to it with my private SOP than she has been at school. Again, that's an added cost for me, but it's worth it for my child. Instead, if I had to sacrifice some extra eating out so that I could have my SOP come and be collaborative with the school, I'm going to do that because I want my child to succeed. Okay? All right. Don't be scared of collaboration. It is okay for people to talk to each other. You want them to because you want everyone to be on the same page for your child. All right. I'm going to leave y'all alone now. You know where to find me. Link in my bio.